Chosen one, what you've done cannot be undone. You stepped beyond the boundaries that almost no one dares to cross, and now you've alerted forces that normally remain silent. This isn't just a mistake or coincidence. It's a signal, a shift, and it demands your full attention. What's happening is rare, and the consequences are immediate. This matters because most people never realize how powerful bold action truly is. In history, breakthroughs, revolutions, and discoveries only happen when someone steps outside safety. The same principle applies to you. Your choice has activated attention, both seen and unseen, and now the universe, in all its systems, is responding. Your past preparation, your decisions, your courage, they all converge here. What's coming for you is extraordinary. Opportunities, clarity, and insights that were hidden are moving into alignment. You'll begin seeing patterns and consequences forming around you at a speed that shocks. Fear, resistance, or pressure may appear, but these are signals, not obstacles. They show where leverage lies, where growth happens, and how bold action reshapes your reality. What you're about to learn is practical and real. How to read early signs, understand unseen systems, use fear as fuel, and turn attention into momentum. These are the same principles applied by leaders, innovators, and high performers to create results others call miraculous. This knowledge will allow you to move strategically, act boldly, and turn chaos into advantage. If you're truly the chosen one, stay until the end. Like, subscribe, and leave your mark in the comments to amplify your alignment. Because what comes next isn't ordinary. It's a deep, actionable understanding of how reality bends when you step beyond the line that should never be crossed. You have taken a step that few dare to even imagine. Crossing this line isn't just a metaphor, it is a profound action that triggers responses from forces far beyond ordinary perception. In human history, the boldest thinkers, scientists, and explorers often faced similar thresholds. Galileo questioned the heavens and faced the wrath of institutions. Nikola Tesla pursued visions no one else could comprehend. The line represents the boundary between accepted reality and unexplored potential, a space where risk meets reward. By stepping into this unknown, you have awakened dormant attention, not as punishment, but as a call to evolve. This action resonates not only on a cosmic level, but within your own consciousness. Every decision that challenges established boundaries reshapes the architecture of your mind. It forces you to confront fear, uncertainty, and your own limitations. Psychologists call this threshold stress, a state where growth is rapid because you are forced to adapt to what was previously unimaginable. Understanding this line helps you navigate the complex interplay between courage and recklessness, teaching you that awareness of risk amplifies the impact of your actions. Crossing the line also teaches the subtle lesson of responsibility. In reality, actions ripple farther than we anticipate. From small acts of rebellion against societal norms to pioneering scientific breakthroughs, history shows that the consequences of crossing thresholds often redefine the world. By grasping this, you can channel the tension of The attention of higher forces is not just an abstract concept. It is a reflection of your potential, your choices, and the power you wield. When myths describe gods as observing or testing humans, they are often illustrating the human capacity for introspection and influence. The divine gaze is a metaphor for heightened awareness. It challenges you to see yourself as you truly are, unfiltered and unshielded. By understanding this mirror, you begin to decode patterns in your behavior, decisions, and impact on the world. In practical terms, divine attention encourages accountability and strategic thinking. Leaders, innovators, and visionaries often experience a similar sense of scrutiny, whether from mentors, peers, or even themselves. Recognizing the weight of observation fosters sharper judgment and deeper self-awareness. It teaches that power without mindfulness can be destructive, but power guided by awareness becomes transformative. Every move you make now is magnified, an opportunity to refine your approach, strengthen your ethics, and embrace mastery. This mirror also highlights the concept of resonance. The higher the energy you project, the more forces will respond in kind. Philosophers and spiritual thinkers throughout history have noted that aligning your inner values with your outward actions creates harmony with universal patterns. Your choices, bold as they are not random. They reflect the latent potential within you. By interpreting the mirror carefully, you gain not only insight, but practical knowledge for navigating. Interacting with forces beyond comprehension is less about confrontation and more about negotiation. In reality, negotiation exists at every scale, from human relationships to global diplomacy, and the principles are strikingly similar when applied to higher-order challenges. Observation, patience, and understanding the underlying motivations of forces allow you to align interests, anticipate reactions, and achieve outcomes that appear impossible to others. The skill lies in balancing respect and strategy. Just as expert negotiators anticipate objections and prepare options, you must navigate unseen consequences with foresight and adaptability. Emotional intelligence plays a central role here. Understanding both internal and external dynamics ensures that your actions communicate intention, maintain alignment, and reduce friction. This approach transforms challenges into opportunities for influence and mastery rather than conflict. Finally, negotiation with cosmic or large-scale forces is ultimately a metaphor for self-mastery. By learning to manage attention, energy, and action in high-stakes situations, you cultivate resilience, foresight, and confidence. Every interaction, whether human, societal, or environmental, becomes a chance to refine strategy, maximize impact, and maintain control amid uncertainty. Audacity alone is not enough. Conscious audacity, deliberate, informed boldness allows you to shape reality in tangible ways. Entrepreneurs, innovators, and changemakers exemplify this principle. Their intentional risks create measurable impact because each action is informed by knowledge, observation, and strategy. When applied to your own situation, conscious audacity transforms risk into opportunity, uncertainty into mastery. This process is grounded in feedback loops. By testing bold actions, observing consequences, and refining approach, you influence both immediate outcomes and broader patterns. Historical examples abound. The Wright brothers' controlled experiments redefined transportation, while contemporary innovators like Elon Musk leverage calculated audacity to disrupt entire industries. Conscious action ensures that risk generates growth rather than chaos. Moreover, shaping reality through bold decisions requires alignment between vision and execution. Knowing what you want to achieve, anticipating potential challenges, and responding dynamically creates a powerful synergy. By combining courage with clarity, you not only act fearlessly, but also strategically, amplifying your influence over your personal, professional, and societal environment. The challenges you face, uncertainty, fear, and opposition, serve as your most effective teachers. In psychology, the shadow represents the hidden or unacknowledged aspects of the self. Confronting it is uncomfortable, yet it reveals weaknesses, blind spots, and untapped potential. Those who engage with their shadow intentionally often experience accelerated personal growth, enhanced emotional intelligence, and heightened decision-making. History provides vivid examples. Innovators and leaders who faced resistance or inner doubt often emerged stronger. Abraham Lincoln endured repeated failures before becoming one of the most effective presidents in history. Facing your shadow forces, introspection, resilience, and strategic adaptation, turning discomfort into actionable insight. Every challenge encountered after daring actions is a mirror, reflecting lessons you need to integrate for growth. Engaging the shadow also enhances awareness of external forces. By recognizing patterns in human behavior, environmental responses, and social dynamics, you gain insight into complex systems that others overlook. The shadow transforms from a source of fear into a guiding mentor, illuminating paths forward and teaching you to act with wisdom, courage, and precision even when stakes feel overwhelming. Every bold action you take leaves a residue of understanding that others rarely access. This knowledge is subtle, often overlooked, yet transformative. For instance, pioneers in technology or medicine frequently report insights that feel like sudden clarity, connections, or intuition, knowledge born from taking risks others feared. Similarly, the actions you've taken have unlocked awareness, allowing you to perceive patterns, consequences, and opportunities invisible to the average person. This knowledge is not just intellectual, it is experiential. Real-world experiences, especially those outside conventional boundaries, teach lessons that books cannot. Neuroscience confirms that learning through direct challenge strengthens neural pathways more than passive study. By engaging with the unknown, you have accelerated cognitive growth, developed foresight, and cultivated the ability to anticipate outcomes before they manifest. The power of this knowledge lies in its application. It equips you to make decisions with precision, seize opportunities early, and navigate complexity with confidence. Unlike theoretical insights, experiential knowledge carries weight. It shapes habits, reactions, and strategies. By recognizing the value of what you now carry, you gain both practical advantage and a renewed sense of purpose, transforming curiosity and courage into actionable mastery. Your actions are more than events. They are messages sent into the world. Psychologists and behavioral scientists note that storytelling, even internally, shapes perception, decisions, and behavior. By consciously framing your narrative, you guide interpretation, influence outcomes, and align attention toward your intended goals. In essence, telling your story to the universe is about controlling how energy, opportunity, and influence respond to you. Narration of power also shapes personal identity. Every choice you make contributes to an internal story that defines how you see yourself and how others perceive you. Leaders, artists, and innovators consistently leverage this principle. Their narrative creates context for their actions, turning individual acts into movements or transformations. By owning your story, you amplify your influence, ensuring that your daring actions are not just noticed but meaningful. Finally, narration provides clarity amid chaos. When uncertainty or external pressure threatens to overwhelm, a coherent internal story anchors your decisions. It creates continuity, aligning bold choices with long-term objectives. By consciously crafting this narrative, you communicate intention, not just to others, but to yourself, turning the ripples of audacity into a clear trajectory toward mastery and achievement. True mastery is as much about restraint as it is about action. Strategic ignorance is the conscious choice to avoid distractions, pitfalls, and unnecessary risks that dilute focus and energy. In the real world, experts often succeed not only because they know what to do, but because they know what to ignore. Warren Buffett famously emphasizes ignoring the noise of short-term trends to preserve focus on long-term gains, a principle that applies universally. By recognizing what to leave unexplored, you conserve resources and sharpen precision. Not every avenue requires exploration. Not every curiosity warrants attention. Strategic ignorance is about prioritization and discipline, ensuring that bold actions target areas of highest leverage and reward. This mindset prevents burnout, reduces error, and amplifies the impact of calculated risks. Moreover, restraint teaches insight. When you deliberately avoid non-essential paths, you observe patterns more clearly, see causal links, and identify the most effective strategies. Strategic ignorance is therefore both a protective and empowering practice. It maximizes results while minimizing unnecessary exposure to hazards, ensuring that your audacity operates within the framework of wisdom. Risk is not inherently negative. It is raw potential waiting to be refined. The alchemy of action is the process of converting uncertainty into tangible growth, knowledge, and influence. Entrepreneurs, athletes, and scientists alike demonstrate this principle. Failure, when analyzed and applied, becomes the catalyst for skill, insight, and innovation. Each calculated risk contains a lesson, a pattern, or an opportunity that, when extracted, compounds your effectiveness. This transformation relies on reflection and adjustment. Taking bold action without analysis leaves risk as chaos. Taking action with conscious evaluation converts it into mastery. For example, Thomas Edison's iterative approach to inventing the light bulb demonstrates how repeated experimentation, failure, and learning can convert uncertainty into world-changing outcomes. Your current challenges are similar. Each trial carries insight that, if harnessed, strengthens decision-making, resilience, and strategic clarity. Additionally, the alchemy of action develops mental fortitude. By embracing risk as a medium for learning, you reduce fear, increase adaptability, and refine intuition. Life's unpredictability becomes a laboratory, and every bold act becomes an experiment in growth. Through this process, danger and uncertainty are no longer threats. They are tools, shaping mastery, influence, and the ability to thrive where most hesitate to step. By stepping beyond boundaries and acting boldly, you have positioned yourself as a focal point of influence, an axis of attention. In real life, this principle is evident in leadership, media, and innovation. Individuals who act decisively in uncertain conditions naturally attract observation, opportunities, and resources. Attention is not passive. It magnifies both strengths and vulnerabilities. Learning to navigate it effectively is crucial for long-term impact. Being at the center of attention requires both self-awareness and strategic communication. Understanding how your actions are perceived allows you to guide narratives, influence outcomes, and leverage visibility for growth. Social psychology shows that individuals who are mindful of their presence and the reactions of others can steer dynamics toward desired results, transforming observation into advantage. Finally, being an axis of attention is an invitation to responsibility. With heightened visibility comes amplified consequences, but also unprecedented opportunity. By embracing this role consciously, you convert external focus into motivation, insight, and actionable influence. Your bold choices now serve as a catalyst, enabling you to shape your environment, inspire others, and transform attention into lasting power and achievement. When you act boldly, you are not alone. Forces beyond immediate perception, whether natural systems, societal dynamics, or metaphorical gods of influence, take note. Predicting how these forces respond begins with observation. In real life, CEOs, political leaders, and crisis managers constantly anticipate the reactions of powerful stakeholders. The same principle applies here. Recognizing patterns in the world around you allows you to forecast consequences before they manifest, giving you control in situations that others see as chaotic. Observation alone is not enough. Interpretation matters. Consider how astronomers track cosmic movements to predict planetary alignment, or how economists study subtle shifts to forecast markets. By noting subtle cues, changes in behavior, opportunity, or environment, you can anticipate responses to your actions. Predicting divine moves is a metaphor for developing a keen sense of cause and effect in complex systems, allowing you to act preemptively rather than reactively. Finally, the eye that watches teaches vigilance. With awareness, you develop resilience, timing, and strategy. It is not a source of fear, but an opportunity to refine intuition and decision-making. Each observation strengthens the feedback loop between action and consequence, enabling you to navigate uncertainty with clarity and confidence, transforming potential threats into strategic advantage. Every action has a natural rhythm, and understanding this timing is crucial. In physics, events unfold according to laws and sequences. In life, opportunity often arrives in synchrony with preparation. By learning the patterns and cycles in your own environment, you align your bold actions with the moments when they will have the greatest impact. Timing is not luck, it is anticipation, observation, and alignment with the flow of circumstances. History shows that breakthroughs rarely occur at random. The discovery of penicillin, for instance, depended on both preparation and being in the right moment to notice a chance phenomenon. Similarly, your daring choices will encounter moments when conditions are ripe for maximal effect. Recognizing these windows allows you to act decisively, magnifying the reward and minimizing unnecessary friction. Patience combined with action is the key. Rushing before conditions are ready can dissipate energy, while waiting strategically ensures that your efforts resonate fully. By mastering the rhythm of cause and effect, you create a dialogue with circumstances, synchronizing bold moves with optimal response. Destiny, then, is not a passive outcome. It is a flow you learn to anticipate, align with, and influence intentionally. Recklessness often carries stigma, but when guided by awareness, it becomes a source of reward. In business, innovation, and science, those who take calculated risks frequently access opportunities others never see. Bold actions break conventions, challenge assumptions, and reveal paths to growth that cautious strategies cannot reach. The tangible benefits might include career advancement or recognition. The intangible rewards involve confidence, resilience, and heightened perception. Psychology explains why daring acts feel electrifying. They engage adrenaline and focus, sharpening judgment and creativity. Facing risk head-on rewires the brain to tolerate uncertainty, empowering faster, clearer, and more decisive action. Entrepreneurs, explorers, and athletes rely on this principle, demonstrating that courage, when paired with insight, produces outcomes far exceeding the sum of its parts. Finally, the reward of boldness is cumulative. Each daring choice compounds experience, insight, and opportunity. The more you engage with risk intelligently, the more adept you become at turning uncertainty into advantage. What others see as dangerous or reckless becomes a source of strategic power, positioning you to seize possibilities and shape reality on your terms. One courageous step rarely remains isolated. It sets momentum in motion. Just as a single spark can ignite a forest fire under the right conditions, bold actions create cascading effects, influencing people, systems, and opportunities in unexpected ways. Recognizing this momentum allows you to strategically amplify influence, ensuring that your decisions shape the broader environment, not just your immediate circumstances. The psychology of momentum is well documented. Small, early wins increase confidence, resilience, and the willingness to take further action. For example, startups often leverage early successes to attract funding, talent, and market attention. Similarly, your initial bold actions generate feedback loops. Each success builds energy, credibility, and insight, creating a self-reinforcing cycle that propels future growth. Understanding momentum also means responsibility. Every ripple has consequences, and each bold step must be measured against your long-term goals. By harnessing the energy of audacity, you can guide these ripples intentionally, transforming daring acts into sustained influence, creating opportunities that extend far beyond the original decision. Life constantly sends signals, small, often unnoticed signs that can guide your decisions. Synchronicities, patterns, and unexpected coincidences are not mere accidents. They are feedback from the complex systems around you. Observing these subtle hints allows you to anticipate outcomes, avoid pitfalls, and seize opportunities that others overlook. History shows that inventors, leaders, and explorers all relied on noticing these small indicators, turning seemingly trivial events into transformative breakthroughs. The key is awareness. By paying attention to details others dismiss, you cultivate a mental radar that detects shifts in your environment, relationships, and even your own mindset. For example, entrepreneurs often notice subtle trends in consumer behavior long before they become obvious, allowing them to act decisively. Similarly, by reading life's signals, you gain an early advantage, positioning yourself ahead of the curve and responding with precision rather than reaction. Finally, interpreting these signals requires intuition and reflection. The universe, or the forces influencing your life, communicates in patterns, metaphor, and timing. By combining analytical insight with gut feeling, you create a balanced strategy that turns subtle cues into actionable intelligence. In doing so, you transform ordinary observation into a powerful tool for growth, influence, and strategic mastery. Where attention flows, energy follows. By understanding how focus, both your own and that of others, shapes outcomes, you can accelerate personal growth, influence, and spiritual clarity. Leaders, innovators, and athletes excel by channeling attention strategically, focusing on high-leverage actions, ignoring distractions, and cultivating presence. Conscious management of attention transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Attention is transformative because it amplifies cause and effect. When you direct focus deliberately, you strengthen neural pathways, increase creativity, and enhance decision-making. Similarly, external attention magnifies impact. Those who act boldly naturally attract notice, opportunities, and resources. Harnessing this energy requires self-awareness, discipline, and strategic alignment of actions with long-term goals. Finally, becoming the center of power is a spiritual as well as practical exercise. Mindfulness, reflection, and intentionality allow you to remain grounded while attracting influence. By managing both internal and external attention, you turn observation into leverage, creating a cycle where focus generates mastery, visibility produces opportunity, and audacity fuels sustained transformation. Awareness of forces beyond the immediate or obvious carries hidden benefits, often overlooked by those who avoid challenging boundaries. Heightened perception, resilience, and influence emerge naturally when you engage thoughtfully with complex systems. Scientists, strategists, and philosophers all demonstrate that understanding subtle dynamics, whether psychological, social, or environmental, produces results that appear almost magical to outsiders. These rewards are practical as well as philosophical. By recognizing patterns in behavior, opportunity, and consequence, you gain foresight that accelerates problem-solving and decision-making. Military strategists, market leaders, and innovators exploit similar insights, turning observation into advantage. Cosmic awareness, then, is less about mysticism and more about systematic attention and interpretation. Finally, the greatest reward lies in self-mastery. The ability to perceive hidden dynamics strengthens confidence, clarity, and adaptability. It allows you to navigate uncertainty with skill, make high-impact decisions, and maintain emotional equilibrium. Hidden awareness, once cultivated, transforms not only outcomes, but the very way you interact with the world, creating both influence and personal fulfillment. Fear is not a barrier, it is a signal. Neuroscience shows that fear releases adrenaline and heightens focus, sharpening judgment and accelerating learning. By reframing fear as a tool rather than an obstacle, you convert anxiety into energy, propelling action rather than hesitation. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and explorers all exemplify this principle. They thrive because they channel fear into deliberate, focused effort. The mechanics of motivation rely on conscious interpretation. Fear highlights areas that matter, exposes risks, and signals opportunities for growth. Instead of avoiding discomfort, high performers use it as a compass, directing attention and energy where it is most effective. Each challenge becomes a source of insight, resilience, and accelerated capability. Finally, turning fear into fuel strengthens confidence and control. By engaging rather than fleeing, you create a feedback loop. Action reduces fear, success builds courage, and momentum grows. Fear becomes not a constraint, but a dynamic engine, guiding strategic boldness, innovation, and personal mastery. Change rarely arrives with a roar. It often whispers in subtle signs. Small anomalies, unexpected coincidences, or shifts in behavior and circumstance are early indicators that the universe or the systems around you is responding to your bold actions. In real life, scientists notice early patterns before major discoveries, and entrepreneurs spot trends before they become mainstream. Recognizing these indicators gives you a strategic advantage, allowing you to act proactively rather than reactively. Awareness of subtle shifts requires patience and attention. By documenting events, reflecting on patterns, and remaining attuned to anomalies, you can distinguish meaningful signals from noise. For instance, a sudden opportunity or repeated synchronicity may appear minor but can mark the start of a cascade of consequences. Those who detect these signs early are often the first to capitalize on emerging trends and opportunities. Finally, early indicators teach foresight and flexibility. When you perceive change as it begins, you can pivot, adapt, and prepare for what follows. This mindset transforms uncertainty into guidance, ensuring that your audacity is informed, timely, and aligned with both immediate and long-term objectives. Being observed, whether by peers, authority figures, or metaphorical divine forces, can trigger stress, doubt, or hesitation. Yet the psychology of being watched also provides an opportunity for mastery. Studies in social psychology show that awareness of observation sharpens focus, increases accountability, and heightens performance. By embracing scrutiny rather than fearing it, you transform pressure into precision. Mastering self under observation requires discipline and reflection. Leaders, performers, and negotiators leverage awareness of attention to guide behavior strategically, ensuring that every word and action aligns with goals. Self-mastery allows you to remain composed, analytical, and deliberate, even when under intense scrutiny, turning potential vulnerability into a powerful advantage. Finally, this psychological skill translates into influence. By maintaining calm, focus, and strategic action while being observed, you gain credibility, authority, and momentum. Observation becomes a mirror that amplifies your strengths rather than exposing weaknesses, giving you confidence to act boldly in high-stakes situations. The world is shaped as much by unseen forces, psychological, social, environmental, as by tangible factors. These invisible currents influence outcomes, shape perceptions, and create opportunities for those who understand them. For example, subtle cues in negotiation, social influence, and even environmental design can significantly impact results. Recognizing and leveraging these forces turns the ordinary into extraordinary. Practical application requires keen observation, strategic thinking, and intuition. Small adjustments, like timing communication, adjusting tone, or aligning with social momentum, can produce outsized outcomes. Leaders, diplomats, and innovators consistently exploit these invisible forces to maximize influence while minimizing resistance. The key is to convert subtle awareness into actionable leverage. Ultimately, understanding invisible dynamics enhances both adaptability and foresight. You can anticipate reactions, influence outcomes, and capitalize on opportunities that others fail to see. By mastering the unseen, you gain a strategic edge, turning bold actions into compounded advantage and long-term influence. How to implement these divine principles in daily life. 1. Start with awareness and observation. Begin by noticing the subtle patterns around you, behaviors, coincidences, and recurring opportunities. Keep a daily journal to record observations, insights, and unexpected events. Over time, These notes will reveal trends that guide strategic decisions. For example, observing your own emotional reactions to stress can help anticipate personal challenges and respond consciously instead of reacting impulsively. 2. Use strategic reflection. Set aside quiet moments each day for reflection. Ask yourself, what patterns am I noticing? How are my actions influencing my environment? This habit transforms ordinary experiences into learning opportunities. Personal life benefits include improved relationships, better decision-making, and emotional clarity, while professional life benefits include sharper strategy and foresight. 3. Practice conscious audacity. Boldness is not reckless, it's informed courage. Daily implementation means taking deliberate steps outside comfort zones, whether speaking up in meetings, trying a new approach to a problem, or confronting personal fears. Start small, but consistently, building confidence and resilience. Each successful step strengthens your ability to handle larger risks. 4. Harness momentum through actions. Every decision creates ripple effects. Be intentional about the actions you take, knowing that even small choices influence your environment. For instance, showing consistent kindness, reliability, or creativity can generate opportunities and positive responses over time. In personal life, small acts of courage, like resolving a lingering conflict, can produce lasting benefits in relationships. 5. Leverage attention and focus. Direct your energy toward high-impact activities. Minimize distractions and consciously choose where your attention flows. Meditation, mindfulness, and intentional scheduling help maintain focus. This practice allows you to respond effectively to both visible and invisible forces in your daily life, strengthening influence and mastery over outcomes. 6. Turn fear into motivation. Whenever anxiety, doubt, or pressure arises, reframe it as information rather than a barrier. For example, nervousness before a presentation signals that the moment matters. Use that energy to prepare, focus, and perform at your best. Over time, fear becomes a fuel for growth, not a source of hesitation. 7. Align with timing and patterns. Observe the rhythms in your work, social life, and personal energy. Identify optimal times for decision-making, creativity, or critical conversations. Synchronizing your actions with natural and social patterns increases efficiency and influence, making bold moves more effective. 8. Engage with hidden forces consciously. Leverage subtle dynamics in your environment. Notice body language, social cues, and systemic patterns, then adjust your actions strategically. In personal life, this could mean improving communication or resolving conflicts by understanding motivations. Professionally, it could mean influencing outcomes by aligning with team dynamics or market trends. 9. Exercise patience. With process that understand that results take time. Implementing these principles requires steady practice and observation. Avoid rushing outcomes. Instead, let momentum, awareness, and preparation compound naturally. Personal growth and professional mastery both benefit from patience and deliberate pacing. 10. Craft your narrative intentionally. Finally, consciously shape how you perceive your life and actions. Reflect on your goals, values, and legacy. By framing your story intentionally, you guide attention, influence, and opportunity toward outcomes aligned with your purpose. Share it through words and actions consistently, reinforcing identity and impact. Implementing these principles is not about mysticism. It's about transforming bold, conscious action into mastery, influence, and personal fulfillment. Life rewards those who observe patterns, take informed risks, and align attention with purpose. Each decision, no matter how small, can ripple through your world, shaping your reality in ways both visible and subtle. By practicing awareness, courage, patience, and strategic reflection daily, you become a force capable of navigating complexity, seizing opportunities, and converting challenges into growth. Your actions no longer merely respond to circumstances, they create circumstances. Ultimately, living as the chosen one means embracing responsibility, mastering yourself, and shaping your environment with intentional audacity. Every choice becomes a step toward influence, insight, and legacy. When combined, these practices allow you to live fully, courageously, and wisely, commanding attention, cultivating opportunity, and leaving a mark that resonates far beyond your immediate life. Thank you for stepping into this journey of audacity, awareness, and mastery. Remember, every bold choice you make today shapes the legacy you leave tomorrow. Stay aware, stay fearless, and let your actions speak louder than anything the world or the gods could imagine. If this inspired you, don't forget to subscribe and join the community of those who dare to act, think deeply, and leave a mark that matters. Your journey has only just begun. Let's navigate it together.